mullet, A-line, bob. Do these words mean anything to you? How does one become qualified to wield weapons of shearing? Sounds interesting? Then welcome to Inside Job, a podcast where we interview Keene's workforce and the businesses they maintain. Today's episode centers on Aurora Ramirez, who has been working as a cosmetologist for the last 32 years, of which 20 have been here in Keene.
Saludos, este es Gadiel Soto Maldonado para la clase.
Hello, this is Gadiel Soto Maldonado, and today we are in Queen and King Barbershop and Salon. We are with Miss Aurora Ramirez. How are you today, Miss Ramirez?
Hola, ¿cómo están?
Hello, how are you? I'm good, thank you.
Can you introduce yourself to our audience, please?
Mi nombre es Aurora
My
Ramirez.
name is Aurora
Soy
Ramirez.
cosmetóloga.
I am a cosmetologist, hairstylist, and barber.
And have you always had a passion for cosmetology, or is it something that you found later in life?
Es
Well,
algo
it's
que-
something that I have always liked, but it was not my priority. I studied private accounting and I graduated, so I'm a private accountant. But when I got married and had kids, I decided to stay with them. They were young, so I had to decide on something that I liked to do, but could also provide financially so I could support my children because I recently went through a divorce. And I had to find something to provide for my family since I was a single mom with 5 kids. So I began to think about what could help me help them and earn enough money, not take too long to study, and was something that I enjoyed. Since I had an aunt that was a cosmetologist and she used to take me with her to help around her salon, I remembered that it was something that I liked to do. So I opted to study cosmetology, and thanks to God, I was able to graduate as a valedictorian in the college that I went to study in Dallas. It's been my passion for the last 32 years, and I've always liked my job very much.
So, why did you like the name Queen and King?
Porque creo
Because we all deserve to be treated like royalty, like people that deserve to be treated in a dignified manner. I like for people to feel that they are being well tended to and treated with respect. Since I am a Christian, a Seventh-day Adventist, I believe that we are all the children of a king. We are kings, queens, princesses. So that is how I treat people. I believe they deserve that treatment.
And how is the daily life of a barber and hairstylist?
It is a bit difficult because it requires a lot of discipline, a lot of patience, and hours on the job where you don't even have time to eat. It's a really demanding job. It becomes routine work, having to put up with all the hours that you have to be dealing with people. So yes, this job requires a lot of discipline, patience, love, and passion for what you are doing. And I like what I do.
Are you the only one who works here, or do you have any other employees?
no tengo
At the
a nadie.
moment, I do not have anybody else, but I would like to have someone to share this place with, because there is room for 2 more people, but for the time being, it is just me. It has been difficult to find someone else because I close on Saturdays. The majority of the people who are looking for jobs as barbers want to work on Saturdays, but I don't open the shop on Saturdays.
Have you faced any other difficulties besides not being able to find other employees to help?
No creo
No,
que
not really. Thanks to God, I have been able to have everything that I need conforming to what God provides, because He has never left me in need.
And are you a native of Keene? Have you always been here and had your business here?
no, yo
No,
tuve
I used to have a barber shop in Plano, but it was very far from where I lived, and I had to take the public bus. It was not easy for me to travel all the way, so when my daughter decided to study at Southwestern Adventist University, she told me, "Mom, why don't you move over here? You could possibly open a barber shop here." I took my daughter's word for it and visited Keene, and I liked it. Then I opened a salon next to the subway. In fact, my name is still on the billboard of the other shopping center. It says Aurora's Beauty Salon. That was the name of my previous salon 20 years ago since I moved here from Keene. Afterwards, for various reasons, like the death of my son and an accident, all of those things that affected my life, I had to leave the shop for some time. But thanks to God, I am here again, serving the community of Keene and the surrounding area. I have many clients, not only from Keene, but from the university. I have clients that were students who are now parents, and I have known them since then.
So, would you say that your relationship to the people of Keene is very close?
Sí.
Yes, I can say that a lot of people know me.
And in your 32 years of being a hairstylist, what are the strangest hairstyles that you have seen?
Pues uno de ellos creo que
One
es
of
el
them is the one that I believe is called a mullet. That style, I find it weird, but whatever the client asks me to do, I'll do it. If they say they want their head shaved, I'll do it. I just like my job. The most difficult haircut for me is the flat top. It is not that common anymore, but people do ask for it sometimes.
Are there any other haircuts that you find challenging?
no creo
Not really.
porque
When I was studying, they would assign me the most difficult cuts and styles. Since I already made the decision that this is what I wanted to do, I made an effort to do my best. Now I see difficult haircuts and styles like a challenge. However, I will say that the hair type that I find most difficult to work with is thin hair. Because when you have to do, say, a fade, it is difficult to get it right with that hair type.
And what would you say to somebody who aspires to one day have their own barbershop or salon, or just wishes to be a barber?
primero
Firstly, you have to enjoy this sort of work. If you don't like it, I do not recommend it. You also need a lot of patience because you'll face many challenges. Many people with different personalities and a lot of discipline is required. Again, you have to like what you are doing. You also need to wait patiently because hours can go by waiting for clients. It's also difficult to rest because the work hours are so variable. In the beginning, it may also seem difficult because monetarily you may not have what you would like. But in the end, you will see results. And if you leave it in the hands of God, He will provide.
Is there anything else that you would like to say to the community of Keene or the university?
estoy muy
I
agradecida
am
con
very
todos
grateful to everyone in the community and the university for their support all this time. Like I said, I have clients from the university who still remember me. I am also glad to be able to help the students. I always give them discounts. Never do I charge them full price like I would a regular client. The students at Southwestern Adventist University have a special place in my heart. My kids were students. I was a student, so I know the difficulties and challenges that students go through. I always take them into consideration. Simply listening to them gives me great satisfaction. I am also grateful to them for supporting my business because that is why I am here.
Well, thank you for your time, Miss Aurora. This has been Gadiel, and I'll see you next time.